6. So, Daily Dose of Hope is just that the energies on our planet are starting to increase, and as they do, things start to get wackier and wackier, and sometimes it gets harder and harder to process all of the stuff that's going on. And when that happens, it's harder to stay in a state of peace. And so, the Daily Dose of Hope is just the Daily Dose of Hope to kind of give you some hope and just to understand that don't worry, everything's going to work out. And so that's what this is. I was guided by my guides back in February to do this, and I've been coming on almost consecutively since then. So nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. By the energies that are increasing on the planet, this is something that so I just had a private session, and in the session we were asking about what is this new paradigm and what's going on now at this transition time. And so I just wanted to share, I thought that was kind of an interesting way of looking at it, is that that we're kind of straddling two worlds at the moment. We're kind of in between two worlds. And so we're in between the world of the third dimension, where there are all these, it works in a certain way. There's a certain logic to the third dimension. But then we're also kind of approaching this new way of thinking, this new paradigm, which isn't really new, but it's kind of new for us because we've been trained into this third dimensional paradigm. And the way that they explained it was, think of yourself when you come in as a baby. All of us, when we come in as babies, we're pure and innocent. None of us are doing anything. So you think about people who are doing things that are unbelievable, like, how can someone ever do that? You think about them as a baby, they're just a baby once. They're just pure, just a little baby, loving and so pure. And that's who you are. And hey, Kathy, hello again. I was just sharing about the idea about straddling to the two worlds, and how that's kind of where we're at the moment, and that's why a lot of us are starting to feel a lack of hope. I know this is for me as well. Like I back in 2018, when I kind of had my awakening, I guess you could call it, I started the things that used to excite me, or that I thought they would excite me. Actually, that was the thing. I stopped believing in the way that I thought my happiness should be. You always just assume that, okay, I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to do that, and because that's the right way of going about things, which is very third dimensional, which is it works, or it worked. There's a certain, you can follow different pathways of going down different, finding what you want. But what I realized is that with all these different pathways, I was not happy. They wasn't making me happy. And so the idea is that, like, happiness is not something outside of us. Happiness is not something that we kind of approach. It doesn't come to us from, a job, from an occupation, from a relationship. Maybe there's brief, flashes of it, but in the end, we're still stuck with our every single second of every day, waking up, going to bed, eating, all these different things. That's really what our life is about. We think it's about all these big things, and like, oh, I got this job, or I'm doing this, and it's like, but it's mostly just the small things. And that's that John Lennon quote, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." And I think that's very fitting for now. And that is always has been the most important thing. And so but what we're looking for is inside of us. And so once we kind of start to realize, like, oh, everything that we're looking for is inside of us, then we can kind of approach everything outside of us. We see the world, but we're not caught up in all of the drama. We're just like, oh yeah, this is the world. Okay, so I'm going to do this and this and this and this. I understand that my happiness is within me, that my peace is within me, that these things are outside of me. So holding that understanding is a very powerful way of looking at the world, especially now since we're kind of straddling two worlds. And so the world that we were in, sorry, there's just this weird bug that's crawling on my I've never seen a bug like that before. Anyway, so we're straddling these two worlds, and as we're straddling these two worlds, we start to lose hope in all the stuff that we thought would give us hope, and it kind of is surprising. It's like, well, why don't we feel hope for those things? We think, oh, maybe I'm depressed. because then that's what the third dimension would say. You must be depressed. You must be. It's got to be depression. Um, Here, take this medicine and call me in the morning. But no, we're approaching a new paradigm, and we're just kind of like, what's the word, we're weaning ourselves from an old way of thinking into a new way of thinking, and of course it's going to be a little confusing. That's okay. So I would say that I wouldn't really describe it as depression. I mean, of course there is, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist or any, and I can't give medical advice, so please understand and take everything with a grain of salt. But this is just my way of thinking. Is that we are in between two different worlds, and if we lose hope with that one world, it can feel like, everything's falling apart, the whole world's falling apart. I don't know how, there's no meaning with anything anymore. But understand that we're just in between two places, and we're approaching a new paradigm. And yeah, so that's. And TT Tracy says, yes, Dolores talked about this time of the splitting of the worlds. Not sure what that will look like. Yeah, and I think it looks like now. Look how split we are. Look how different we are. Look how all these people that, people are just in different worlds now. And sometimes you can't even like communicate with people. They're in such a different world. There you go. Slowly we're kind of splitting away. And then this feeling of losing hope in the 3D matrix world. That could be the same thing. We're kind of drifting away from that old paradigm. TT traces, once you can see the 3D matrix but not be in it. Yeah. And understand that it doesn't work the way that we're taught it does. It's not, it's a construct. It's just a construct, right? And it's fun if you understand what it's for, but if you don't, it can be really just crazy making. Kathy say 3D labels a lot of things. Yeah, definitely, right? There's words for these things, because once you can label something, then you can give some sort of like magical potion. You have this, so here's the magic potion that will fix that kind of idea. And so that's kind of what's, yeah. I think that's why labels are good. And, we understand that, like, we don't really understand what anything really is for, right? The Course in Miracles idea. So that everything that we see, we put a label on it and then we fixate it as one thing. But we understand from quantum theory that it can be another thing at the same time. And so, yeah. I think that just that understanding that we can kind of, things can be more than one thing at a time. There's kind of a multi-dimensional way of looking at something. Yeah. Kathy say the constructs are melting. Yeah. Yeah, that they are. Everything's kind of, it's not the same anymore. There's still that quote that I love that I think Mary Magdalene said a few weeks ago, that your belief systems may completely fall apart, but you'll never fall apart. You're made of love and cannot fall apart. I think that's perfect for now. It's like, yeah, things are going to shock us, right? This whole world's going to, I mean, look what's going on in the States now with all these UAPs or drones or whatever word they use for it. Who knows what it is? We don't know. We don't know what it is. But, it can be, if you're kind of caught up in the story, it's just like, oh my God, wow. But just, it's a story. What's going on? I don't know. Love is going on. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is, maybe let's ask about those sightings, all those drones that are happening. Oh, actually, I'm being told not to ask. Okay, never mind that. Instead of that, I'm going to go into, let's just see if they have anything to say for today. What's their message for today, December 11th, 2024? And yeah, okay, what's the message for us who are like in between? We're doing the limbo in between two worlds. So here we go. Yeah, we are that one that you know as Mary Magdalene. And yes, you are all doing the limbo. You are seeing how low you can go. You are testing yourselves in that sense. This is one of the other aspects of this transition period, is that it gives you the ability to test yourself to see uh, how you react in situations such as these. The situation that you're in at the moment is one in which you are, as this being said, straddling two different worlds. And that is a very complex thing, especially for you who are in this third dimensional body at this moment. That is a very complex thing to experience, and not one that is normally experienced within a third dimensional body. So it is a grand present to all of you to see how you can interact and how you can stay within peace when the whole world seems to be falling about outside of you. And by how low you can go, we're talking about the limbo, how you can see everything as a story, how much you can understand that it is all a story that is playing out around you, that all of these narratives, all of these stories are there for you. And what do we mean by that? What do we mean there for you? We mean that all of these stories are playing out for you, so that in the end you realize that they are all stories, and that you are love, and that you're all love, and that you're all one, and that you are just having this experience on this planet. But it is not you. You are not made of this place. You're made of love. So everything that you see, nothing that you see on this planet can truly hurt you. Nothing can harm you. You are pure love, and nothing from this third dimension can harm you. You are much more powerful than you can ever imagine. And that is what one of the major ideas of this transition period is about, is being aware of that, understanding that, shaking your belief in what you thought was real and not real, and opening you up to the idea of a multidimensional reality. All right. So Kathy's, yep, there. Yes, we're made of love and will not fall apart. Yep, yeah. And love is going on. I love that. Yeah. So what's going on? Love is going on. Yeah. Keone said, could you channel Yeshua? Yeah. And maybe not today. TT Trace says, I want to do the hokey pokey after we finish the limbo. That's right. The hokey pokey, the international dance. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself. I wonder if they do the hokey pokey on other dimensions. That could be, yeah. Maybe it's a multi-dimensional dance. So I'm going to go into a quick pocket of peace. I'm starting to get really hungry for dinner. So quick pocket of peace. A pocket of peace is a guided meditation where if you would like to join in, please join in. And we just send out love into the mass consciousness, into the universe. So, and if you'd like to join in, how do you join in? You just kind of can sing, you could dance, you could do light language, you could play your guitar, you could play your trombone, your trumpet, your saxophone, your tuba, whatever instrument you have around, your recorder. So here we go. I'm going to go in. I'd like you to imagine that you're surrounded by the mist of unconditional love. It just surrounds you and it protects you. And it's so powerful. And it reminds you in your heart that you're made of love. That's the mist of unconditional love. It's so accepting of you because it sees you. Imagining you. Remember you when you are a baby, before all of these things that you came into. How perfect and pure you were and how connected you were. And understanding that that is how Source sees you. It sees you as you are, full of love. And this love just wants to extend, and it does, and it expands out throughout all of the highways and the byways and the skyways and the cloudways, and everywhere you can imagine is just surrounded by love now. It goes throughout the mass consciousness at the speed of love, which is the fastest speed on the planet, and everyone around the world is downloading this love, and they're saying, I feel it. I feel the love now. I feel, I felt like I was in a nightmare. I was in this strange dream where nothing made sense, and it was very sad, but I just woke up and I'm feeling good. I feel good. I don't even know why. I just feel like, everything's going to be okay. I got this thing. I'm a little bit more rested now, and all these things that I thought, these mountains that I thought were in front of me, are just tiny little ant hills. And I'm just going to walk right over them. I don't even have to step on them, just walk over them and understand that they were there to show me how big I was. Right. I thought I was the size of an ant, and look, I'm so much larger. And you just shout down to the ants, I love you guys. I'm going to walk over. Okay. And then you're just walking over with the story of love, the story of you conquering all of these things that seem to be in front of you, all of these walls that appear in front of you. They're gone, they're gone, they're gone, vanished, vanquished by the power of love, because love just sees them and they just melt away, because love is the only thing and love is the most powerful thing. And when you're lost, you just start to listen to that heart, that voice in your heart. It just tells you, oh, just turn left over here. Just turn right over here. Don't worry about that. You'll be okay. Yeah, there's nothing you need to worry about right now. Just relax. And we're listening to that sound, and look at that. Look at that. You can kind of see it in the distance, how everyone is just following the heart. Look at them all. They look so happy. They're just enjoying themselves. And it's everyone thought that it would be chaos if everyone started to follow their heart and do what they thought is right. But it isn't. Everyone's working in perfect harmony. Look at that beautiful place. It's like heaven on earth. Everyone just realized that they're just made of love. Yeah. All right, so that's Pocket of Peace for day 2, where are we at? December 11th, 2024. And let's see. T.D. Tracy says, share how your concert went last week. This week I have another concert coming up this Sunday. So yeah, I'll tell you how it goes. But anyway, I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for asking. Thanks, Keone, for Keone and TT Tracy and Kathy. And yeah, Keone, sorry, about not channeling Yeshua, but usually on these daily doses of hope, we just kind of see who comes through. But yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys are hopeful, and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow. So ciao for now.